Hi everyone, my name is John G, and on behalf of the entire Brataley family, thank you so much for being here. I know it means the world to them. And to those watching at home, all over the world on their phones, we're so glad you could join us to celebrate the life of our friend Caleb. Grief can feel lonely, but the outpouring of love and support from all of you has been a beautiful reminder that the Brataley family is far greater than just the people in this room. Our community is strong. We are all in this together, and we will all get through this together. It's okay to feel sad, and we encourage you all to share your feelings with each other and with your loved ones. We're going to start with a short video celebrating Caleb's life, and then open it up to the room. We ask that you keep your remarks brief so that everyone who wants to gets a chance to share.
Hey guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different. This is my first home run that I ever got. These are all my trophies. This one was the biggest one I ever got. This is Caleb Wheels because I was really fast. My nickname was Wheels. This is a picture of my cousin Mary Kate and me. We were about 3 or 4 years old. Ow! Did you bite it? This was Daddy's high school baseball hat. Thank you for letting us have 50 subscribers. And now what we're going to do is what we've all been waiting for. 1,
2, 3. either tying knots, I'm not sure. So you're either a really good knot tire or a really bad knitter. What do you think?
Did you have a happy birthday? That's the question of the day.
Yeah, it was a good birthday. We went to a theme park. We went to the zoo. Didn't go to the zoo. I'm not.
We didn't.
Always in my opinion.
There's something different about you. Do you feel different?
I have a new freckle. I knew something was up. People are staring at me.
That new freckle.
I woke up today really early because I had like a 9:30 baseball game.
What position do you play?
Catcher.
You got, describe your catcher's match.
It's exactly like Captain America, so I'm definitely representing Patriots.
George Washington showed up and decided to be pitcher.
Yeah, he decided to come in an inning, relief pitcher, pitch a field. His curveball was nasty. It went straight to the ground. I mean, so did his fastball.
The first time I noticed my kids' relationships was different than most. Luke's was pretty normal, typical running around the house, breaking things, playing ball, playing hockey in the house, playing basketball in the house, playing baseball in the house, playing baseball outside. That was all pretty typical stuff for my son and Caleb. The special relationship was actually with Caleb and Sydney. I remember the first time that I watched their relationship together. We went to a sailing party, and it was for hospice, and we dragged Caleb along. And they had a great time, and afterwards we went on a sailboat, and we took a little dinghy, and we went on the sailboat, and we got out there. I would say Sydney was probably 8, and Caleb may have been 9 or 10. And we're all sitting out there having a great time, and look around, Luke's looking for hiding places in the sailboat, and Caleb and Sydney are up on the deck. So I go up there, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? God. I'm like, what are you talking about God for? I don't know, just talking about God. It's like, you're 8 and 10. What are you talking about God for? So such began their very philosophical, emotional, deep friendship that they had. I don't remember I ever had a day when Sydney was ever excluded from anything that Caleb did. Luke excluded from everything. Caleb, not once. Always asked her if she wanted to join in. Always asked her if she was interested in hanging out. I remember when Luke came to me and said, when are my friends going to want to play with me? I'm like, oh baby, it's just beginning. A few months ago, we were at the beach, and Sydney and Caleb stayed up all night talking about, and I quote from her, marriage, life, kids, college, how old we want to be when we do all these things. And I thought, this is 3 years later, and these kids are still connecting at such a deep level that it was just awesome. And then she told me that at one point, he told her she's not allowed to date anybody without running it by her, without running it by him. So we decided that it's first Caleb, then Dad, then Luke. So he was first on the list. Unfortunately, the thought that Sydney and Caleb would end up together, which was always in my head, not happening anymore. But I do hope, and I pray for my daughter, that the relationship you have with your future mate is even an eighth as emotionally tied as it was with Caleb. And that was based on trust and friendship and acceptance. So today, I hope all of you join me in celebrating Caleb's life. I will miss him to my very, very core. I will miss talking to him when I thought he was awake, but he was really asleep because his eyes were open. I will miss making him waffles in the morning. I'll miss taking him to Ripken camp every summer and watching him play. I will miss my Sunday afternoons in the spring when I would take and root for his team while he was there. I will miss taking him to Luke's games and having him teach me about the sport and help me keep score. And I will miss watching him play outside with Luke for hours, dragging them in at dark just to eat. There truly won't be a day I won't think about him and how much he impacted everybody around him. I promise to live my life more like him and not take myself too seriously. I promise you, Caleb, you'll watch over your family as you would have asked us to do and be there for them as they grieve for you. Rest in peace, Caleb. You will be missed. Next is Coach Josh.
I had the pleasure of meeting Caleb and his family when he was 9 years old, and had great honor of being able to be his head coach for one season. And when I first got to see him play and evaluate him, right away I saw that there was a lot of qualities in him that a coach would look for in a baseball player. But you know, one word comes to mind when I think of Caleb. This is exemplary. And what Caleb did was he set an example for his teammates. And I know with my team, he set such a great example. I know his future teams, he always did also. For one, he always had a positive attitude. Whether it be catching those games in 95-degree weather, or those sometimes boring practices, he still remained, had a great attitude and hustled and always, wanted to do his best in whatever he did. And I know his teammates were looking at him and saying, hey, he's got a great attitude. He's also a very respectful young man, always respectful to me and the other coaches, always trusting his coaches and that they know what was best for him and the team. He had such a great work ethic, and he took pride in his craft as being a catcher. Just always worked hard at it. And each year that I saw him play, I could see he was getting better and better and improved every single year, just because of that work ethic. He would do anything to help his team win, whether it be stealing bases, laying down a bunt with bases loaded, thinking of, hey, I'm going to hit a grand slam, but he would bunt that and make a perfect bunt, score that run. And that's what Caleb was. He was a great teammate. What is a great teammate? A great teammate is being supportive of one another, always thinking of the team before yourself. And guys, as youngsters and even as adults, we think of the present, we think of who hits the farthest, who throws the hardest, who's going to be on the Sports Center highlights. But the one thing, once your playing days are done, the one thing you're going to look back on is think about who was a great teammate. And I know all of you will think back and think, hey, Caleb was a great teammate. And Caleb will always be on my roster. Now to speak is Coach Larry.
Thank you, Josh. My name is Larry, and I was lucky enough to be Caleb's baseball coach at Savage for about 3 years. When Caleb joined our team 2 or 3 years ago, he was a shy, quiet, kind of unassuming kind of baseball player. By the time the third season rolled around, he was one of our team leaders. Caleb led by example, and I know he inspired his teammates to be the best they could be. I remember that on more than one occasion, we would be losing a game by just a run or two with not too many at-bats left. The game seemed lost, and this is the kind of situation that Caleb thrived in. Not only did he tie the game up, he inspired his teammates to win it. I remember one particular incident. I think it was the Stars and Strikes tournament. It was late in the game, probably right around the 4th or 5th inning. We were losing probably by a run or two, and Caleb busted a triple in the left center gap that I think is still rolling. He tied the game. Actually, I think that was, in that particular instance, that was the go-ahead run, and it just inspired the team to go ahead, and I think we actually did very well in that tournament. And that was, to me, that was the turning point in that game and in the tournament. I know that Caleb's teammates are really going to miss him. I personally will always remember his smile and his character and how he carried himself. I hope we can all keep a little piece of Caleb with us. God bless him. Next, Coach Danny.
Thank you, Coach. Hello, I'm Dan DePriest. I had the distinct honor and privilege of taking Caleb to Cooperstown Dream Spark. It's hard to believe it's just 5 weeks ago we were at Cooperstown Dreams Park playing baseball and enjoying the experience of the Cooperstown 12U tournament. Long story short, my team needed another player in order to make it to Cooperstown. My friend and retired co-worker, Mike, led us to Caleb. My first reaction when I saw Caleb working out was, wow, this kid can play. Which led me to my second reaction, quickly, which was, I hope we don't scare him away. It's because we didn't have the greatest team. But that didn't matter to Caleb. He quickly showed he just wanted to play ball. I think all the coaches would agree with me that if they had a chance to put 9 Calebs on the field, they definitely would. He was naturally gifted with his skills and instincts, and he always held his head high. Win, lose, or draw, he hit the field with the same intensity and drive. He was every coach's dream player. I think one of his proudest moments was when I told him to go ahead and bat left-handed. He was showing off one morning in batting practice, showing me his switch hitter skills. Very impressive. During the game, I said, go ahead, big boy. Go ahead and show me. Well, he promptly stroked the single. Biggest smile on first base ever seen. Off the field, he was funny, unpredictable, and witty. For example, I was watching the boys doing some pin trading and negotiating. Caleb suddenly yells out that he has a rock pin. The whole crowd comes running to see his famous rock pin. Caleb carefully eyed up the other pens available and then gives the trader his infamous rock as he grabbed the pen that he wanted, and he takes off running. The kid chased after him after realizing that his rock pen was just a simple rock. It was a hilarious chase, and he tried it quite a few times after that. He was so fun. He was easygoing. He never asked for anything. He just went along with the flow, and his smile was definitely contagious. He could light up a room. He has left a lasting impression with my family and the Jarrettsville Cooperstown team. He will always be a part of Cooperstown as he was inducted into the American Youth Baseball Hall of Fame, and he was given a ring. I remember the last day at the barracks. We just lost our last game. It was 11 o'clock in the morning. And Caleb never changed out of his uniform. He spent all day pin trading, messing with the crowd, and just playing with friends. And that night, he jumped into his bunk, still wearing his uniform, and even his hat. And he slept all night, just like that. Billy and Katie, Caleb was so incredibly gracious and genuinely appreciative. He viewed the Cooperstown experience as a gift. But in actuality, Caleb was a gift to us. My family and I will always be incredibly grateful for the memories that we shared with him. Caleb will be in our hearts forever. Thank you. At this time, the mic is open if anyone else would like to say anything.
I wasn't planning on coming up here. I'm Paige, and I'm Caleb's cousin. Earlier this year, Billy and Katie texted me asking to come on a trip with them, with the family, and it turned into 2 trips and 3 trips, so I've had the opportunity to travel with them this year. Which was a blessing in disguise. I didn't really see him a whole lot, so I was really excited about it, and they changed my life. Their family is amazing. Them as a whole. Billy and Katie are wonderful parents. And any kid would be blessed to have them. So they had so many fans. Caleb knew how to light up a room. He was like a little brother to me. He loved life. He enjoyed every little bit, even if it was things he didn't necessarily feel like doing or was tired. He was a trooper. He loves sushi. We went to Australia, and everywhere we went, you would find sushi somewhere. He liked magic trick cards. He started collecting them. They were like $20. And Billy's like, why do you need that? I was like, I want another pack. So I just wanted to come up here and tell everyone that they love all of you, and it's just a blessing. I know that everybody watching their channel and just watching their family, it's uplifting, and it shows what a true family is. People who love each other with all their hearts and would do anything for each other. So I am honored to be a part of the family forever. And I was honored to spend this last year with him. He was such a joy to be with. So, in saying that, I love all of you, and I loved him so much.
So, some of you Brataley fans watching at home may be wondering if I'm George Washington. And yes, it's true. I work at Maker Studios, and for the past 2 months, I've been so fortunate to spend my weekends with the Brataleys, working on a new show called Bratayley Makes History, in which I dressed up as George Washington and drove around in the backseat of the Brataleys' car on an epic road trip across America's original 13 colonies. Yes, this is actually my job. And it's been awesome. History was Caleb's favorite subject, and together we adventured around the country, meeting historians, visiting important sites, and even talking to 2016 presidential candidates. We laughed, we danced, we sang Yankee Doodle a lot. We ran through fields, we jumped in the water with our clothes on. But most importantly, we explored the world together, and we had so much fun. It takes a certain curiosity and fearlessness and passion to explore the world, and Caleb exuded this. The mission of our show was simple. What if we could help inspire millions of kids to learn more about history and the world around them? And we were well on our way, considering the Brataleys get more YouTube views than all the major news networks in America. It can be easy to be cynical in life. We all watch things and wonder to ourselves, is this real? This can't be real. I don't believe it. Well, let me tell you, Brataley is real. It's very real. I remember one night on our first shoot in Massachusetts, long after the cameras were off, I went for a walk with the whole family. Katie was still filming for their channel. And when we walked past some berries that had fallen from a tree, we obviously started having a berry fight. But when she put her camera away, nothing changed. The kids all kept running around, dancing and laughing with each other. The magic of Brataley hit me so clearly in that moment. This is not an act. They're not putting on a show. Nothing changes when the camera is on. What you all see every day on Brataley is just a small snapshot of their passion for life and their love for each other. I was walking around Manhattan in the middle of the night this weekend, trying to make sense of all this, when I walked past Carnegie Hall and I smiled to myself. A lot of kids from all over the world dream of one day appearing in front of an audience that large. But Caleb and his sisters didn't need Carnegie Hall. They brought Carnegie Hall and then some to their living room. As far as I'm concerned, the Brataleys have already made history. Their love for each other and their excitement for life has connected millions of people, and the world is a happier place because of them. Billy, Katie, you are such incredible parents. Your unabated, unconditional love and celebration of your children is an inspiration to all of us. Haley, Annie, the best thing you can do to honor your brother is to continue to do what you do best. Live every day with passion, with purpose, with grace, with laughter, with kindness, and with love. We all love you so much, and we're all here for you every step of the way.
this live stream. This is all new to me. Somehow I'm connected to the family. I'm related. It's a whole long story. Caleb not only was an awesome athlete, not only was he an awesome friend and very sensitive, but there is a song in Les Mis, and it's to see the face of God is to see it in the one you love. And Caleb was loved by all. And I didn't have the opportunity to be in the backseat of the car, but I think that as an old priest, you just won me over, because I'm going to have to start watching you all. But what I did watch these days is that what you saw on YouTube and what you saw in everyday life was the same. Grief is something that we don't like to talk about. Passing and death is something that is so devastating. And when so-and-so is young, as our dearest friend, we know that believing in God, that death is not the end, but truly a new beginning. And like that beautiful song that his cousin sang, I really don't know what heaven is like up there now, because I'm sure that there's just a lot of things going on, and a lot of moving around, and a lot of movement. Caleb truly had the life of so many of us that we all wanted to be, and at such a young age, he was able to bring it to completion. And knowing that we have a loving God, that when we have that feeling of grief that is so in depth in our heart that it kind of gets us in our gut, and especially those who are watching, that we need to be able to reach out to others and talk about our friend and talk about something very positive, something that made us laugh, and to be able to keep those stories and those wonderful live streams alive in our hearts. Because we know that if we have that same relationship with God, that one day we'll all be together.